Destroying humanity is a lot of work, and a girl gotta eat. On her journey to doom humankind, Ivy makes a pit stop at a roadside restaurant, where she meets a hungry poet who makes her question her motives, at least until the cops show up. Ivy has left Gotham, but she can't seem to escape the law. Hello and welcome back to this channel, Comic Books. Today, we will be doing a recap of a DC Universe visual novel called Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy is an ongoing American comic book written by G. Willow Wilson, with art primarily by Marcio Tecara. The series centers on the DC Comics villain Poison Ivy who, following the events of the Fear State crossover, finds herself depoured and dying. Before she dies, Ivy sets out to complete one final mission to destroy the human race. In the first issue, we saw Ivy as she travels across the country, spreading death and decay to humans and animals alike. Finally, tired of being used and having choices made for her, Ivy is rebelling. It's time for Ivy to decide her future, or lack thereof. This new Ivy is going to save the world by destroying all of humanity, including herself. While Ivy has always been more of a fan of the environment than humans, not shying away from murder, she's never been suicidal before. But Ivy has never been quite so alone. Her relationship with Harley ended poorly, and she's cut off from the green, a feeling that for her is akin to losing one of the five senses. The chapter begins and we see Poison Ivy, who is writing a letter to Harley Quinn. This letter is like a goodbye letter. In the letter, she says that there are so many things in this world that she loves, like the roots of the plants and also Harley Quinn, but in reality, these are the only two things that Poison Ivy loves. As for the rest of the world, she says that there is so much more out there that she despises and hates, and she would love to just get rid of. Sometime later, Poison Ivy goes to dinner and sits down there. At the dinner, Poison Ivy just watches people. She watches how all of these people live their life, and they intermingle while they infect one another, without knowing that their days are already numbered. As she looks around, she finds that the people here are kind, nice, and very genuine, but still, she has a mission. A mission is to wipe out humanity. She says that she's not a vegetarian because the vegetarian lifestyle has its own very unique impact on the ecosystem and the green. Ivy says that the truth of the matter is that most people who are vegetarian eat vegetarian food because it makes them feel better. Ivy further says that she is a carnivore because every healthy ecosystem needs its predators. Here Ivy meets a girl whose name is Jenny. Jenny comes and sits down with Ivy, and when they introduce themselves, Jenny says to Ivy that she is a traveling artist, a poet. After that, they start their conversation in which both of them are very vague about what they do and where they are headed. Now it is revealed that Jenny is not a very successful poet, and she only has a poem with 2 lines in it. But for her, these 2 lines meant everything, but the problem was, these 2 lines were not enough to pay the bills. Their conversation continues, and they start talking about human beings being descendants of trees. Poison Ivy now realizes something after seeing the people at this dinner. She thinks that they are not bad and it is the system that was responsible. Individually, human beings are all harmless. This realization makes Ivy think about her mission, and she thinks that should she be doing this? Should she take the life away from these people? Just then, Jenny shows Ivy a symbol of a rune ancestor tree, and as Ivy sees it, something triggers in her. It was because of this reason that Ivy has seen this symbol before, along with the realm of the green. Ivy now knows that she has to remain focused on her mission, and she has to finish the work that she has on her hand right now. Ivy was guiding the spores into every person inside that dinner. It was the perfect environment for the seeds to grow and give birth to a new life. And Ivy can activate the spores at any time, but she tells the spore to wait because there were families and children who were eating their food, and when they will leave this dinner and go back to the society, they will be able to spread the spores in a large area. So the spores will activate after a few hours after they have infected a large number of people. Meanwhile, Ivy tries to remind herself that she was doing this for a big cause, and in the meantime, she was giving them a merciful death. A death which was far more gentle than the one that was coming towards them. Because in reality, global warming is increasing rapidly and wildfires are now tenser than it was 50 years ago. And soon it will be impossible to stop all of this, and now they only have 20 years left to save this world. And all these half measures were not solving anything. So the only way to save the green was the destruction and elimination of the main problem, which is humanity. But soon, the police arrive at the dinner, and Ivy thinks that the police caught up to her, but something strange happens. Both Jenny and Ivy say at the same time that they have caught up with her. In reality, the police were here for Jenny because she has committed wire fraud by using a computer in a library, and she knew that eventually, the police will catch her. After finding all of this, Ivy thinks that she should stay out of this because she was just 2 weeks away from her big scheme, and if she messes this up, Batman and the others will catch up to her eventually. But Ivy is not able to resist the urge to help Jenny, so she says to Jenny that if she wants to get out of this situation, she will have to listen to her and she will have to do whatever she tells her to do. And she must follow her lead at all times no matter what. Ivy uses a bit of pheromone and a few spores on the police officer, because of which they soon drop their guns. The spores immediately activate, and the police start turning into nothing more than vegetation sludge. Ivy and Jenny leave the dinner, but Jenny doesn't see the process of the police turning into sludges. Ivy and Jenny made their way out of the dinner, and Ivy eventually helped Jenny in getting away from the police. Later in the evening, Ivy thinks that she can't waste any more of her time because, in reality, she doesn't have much time left, and because of that, she doesn't want to get attached to anyone. Soon Ivy realizes something as she is out here in the dark. She feels like somebody is watching her, as if somebody is following her. Ivy thinks that maybe it's him. Maybe it's Batman, and he has finally caught up with her, but as she looks around, she sees the markings on the building, the marking of the rune from the ancestor tree. She is not able to see any person following her. Now Ivy believes that she still needs to alter her plan, and she needs to find somewhere to lay low for a couple of days. Here the story goes back in time, and we see her conversation with the gardener. It is revealed that Poison Ivy is going on this war path not because she's dying, or if she wants to save humanity. The truth is that at the very core of everything, Ivy just wants the power of a queen. She wants the power of a god that was once taken away from her, and she wants it back. Now she is barely attached to the green any longer, and what she is hoping is that by doing everything that she is doing, it will draw out Queen Ivy. And all of this will bring her back to her older self, and she will have her godlike powers. But the gardener tries to tell her that why can't just be happy with who she is and what she has. But the truth is, after she tasted the power of being a god, nothing has quenched her thirst since then, and so she makes her way across the United States, still trying to think about the fun times that she and Harley had. She misses Harley, and she wishes that she was here at the end of the world. In the next chapter, we will see that fixing the world isn't easy work, and Ivy's all hot and sweaty because of it. Getting her hands dirty was never an issue, but when plant assassins come after her, Ivy must be willing to play dirty as well. And that's all for today, guys. Stay tuned to get more new videos. Stay safe and keep watching.